everyone, welcome to my tutorial for today. My name is Trust. Today I'll be working on how to cut a princess that have bodies. Before I proceed, if you are new to my channel, I say welcome. Quickly press the subscribe button to notify you if I drop a new video, and press the notification bell to notify you if I drop a new video. So let's start. This is the fabric I will be working on for today, but before I start drafting it out, the bust I'll be working on is 36 bust, waist 28, back 7. 36 bust, waist 28, then back 7. I will be cutting both front and back together. This front and back together. So before we start the cutting, make sure you divide your bust equally. Not to make any mistake when cutting or having any problem on cutting it. So my bust is 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9, because I will be folding into 4. I'm folding both front and back together. So it's 9 inches. 9 inches plus 3, which is 12 inches. So the 3 inches I'm adding is 1 inches for your lining allowance. Maybe the fabric you are using, you'll be lining the fabric, you are going to put lining, so that is 1 inches. 1 inches for your dart, because after cutting the princess cut, you use half inches on both sides to join the princess. The remaining half inch, the 1 inches rather, is for your inner allowance for joining the clothes. So all my cutting, I'm adding 3 inches for bust, waist. I'm adding 3 inches. So 9 plus 3 is 12 inches. So I'm folding 12 inches out. 12 inches out. This is my tape rule. 12 inches out. This is both front and back bodies. Front and back bodies. This 12 inches I will be working on. In this tutorial, I don't need the waist for the cutting. I only need the bust for the folding. The first folding I'm working on the bust, because the bust is more than the waist. So this is the bust, which is 12 inches. But the real bust is, my real measurement is 9. 9 plus the 3 inches for the lining, the dart, and the inner allowance, which is 12 inches. So this is 12 inches. Now, these half bodies I'm cutting, I'm working on 17 inches for the half length. My half length is 17. This is 17, but I will add 1 inches to this 17 to make it 18. The 1 inches I'm adding is half for the shoulder allowance, then half for the down allowance. Maybe it's straight down or it's top. You are adding flame to the down, or you are adding pleating to it. But make sure you add 1 inches. Half inches for up and 1/2 inches for down. So this is 18 inches. This is 18 inches. While this is 12 inches, then 18 inches. I fold my fabric into 4, but I'm leaving space here. Space for the back, not the front. For the back, not for this space I'm leaving represent the zip allowance. So my zip allowance will be 1/2 inches. I'm using 1.5 inches for my zip allowance because I use half inches to turn the lining, then half inches will be my real allowance I'm adding. Half inches, 1 inches will be my real allowance, and so this 1.5. Make sure you fold your fabric and leave the back 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. So this is the zip allowance which I'm using 1.5 inches for my zip allowance. So I'm cutting it out now. This is my half length point, which is 18, but my real half length is 17. I added 1 inches to it, which is half for the shoulder allowance, then half for the down allowance. So now, if you are cutting half bodice, I want you to put a full concentration on it so that you will not have issues when cutting it. This is up while this is down. This up, this down. My back is 7 inches, so I'm adding half to it, which is 7.5. The bust I worked on is 36. So a person using 36 for bust, the armhole will be 9. The armhole will be 9. So this is my armhole. I want you to use your free hand to grab the armhole. This is my armhole. I cuffed it here. So after the armhole, my bust is, before measuring my bust, I won't start my bust here under the armhole. No, I will make sure I leave 1.5 inches. I make sure I leave 1.5 inches. This is 1.5 inches I'm leaving, because my bust must start here, not here. Don't measure your bust under the armhole. Make sure you leave 1.5 inches before you measure your bust. My bust is 9 inches. My bust is 9 inches. This is 9. The 3 allowance I added, this is it. This 3 allowance. Don't start your bust here, because if you start your bust here after joining, you will have issues on this armhole. So make sure you leave 1.5 inches before you start your bust. So now this is my waist. My waist is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 7. This is 7. So 7 plus 3. The 3 inches that I added. So I will now join from my armhole. I'm joining it here. So start the joining from the armhole like this. So I joined it here. So my princess dart allowance, I'm using 4 inches because this bust is 36, and I don't want the princess cut to be at the middle. I want it to be at the side of the bust. So if you want the princess cut to be at the side of the bust, I'm using 4, because the person is using bust of 36. And then I'm using bust of 40. I can use 4.5, but this is bust of 36. I'm using 4 because after I cut 4 out, I will still use half inches to join it, so it will remain just 3.5. Make sure you launch it. I launch the 4 inches here. This is my zip allowance. I launch it. Zip allowance, launch. The princess cut that, launch. So I've launched it there. So after cutting it, before you cut it out, make sure you measure your neck. So the neck will be 3. I'm using 3.5 for this neck, but I want the neck to be a V neck, so I'm using 7 for the depth because I want it to be V neck. So I'm doing it like this. But the V neck I want at the front, I don't want the back to be a V neck. I want this is V, but I want the back to be round neck. So we cut it separately. So now I'm cutting this place. Remember, I started my bust here. So my armhole here. This is my armhole. So your armhole divided by 2. I used 9. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So this is the starting. I will be joining it to the down. This is 4 inches. Don't forget, I used 4 inches for my princess allowance. This is 4 inches. I make sure I measure the 4 inches to my bust. This is 4 inches. So then you connect it from the armpit. Assuming the armpit is 8 inches, you will divide it into 2, which is 4. From that 4, you will connect your princess cut. So this is my princess cut because I want this to be at the side, not at the middle of the clothes. So this is my princess cut. Before I cut it, I make sure I've did all the necessary thing. So now this is the back neck. Launch the zip. This is my zip allowance. Make sure the wideness, this is 3.5. Make sure you use back at 3.5. But don't start, remember there is zip allowance here. So I did not start here, but I leave my 1.5 inches for the zip. Then I start here. This is 3.5. So I want the neck to be up. I don't want it to be low. So I don't want low neck. I'm using 2 inches. 2 inches. So you connect it like this. I want a up neck. So like this. Then you cut it. Make sure you remove the front before you cut it. So this is it. That is my front. That is my back rather. So this is the front. My V neck I'm using. This is the V neck. So after cutting it, then I'll cut my princess cut. This is my princess cut. Make sure you cut it straight, not to have issues when joining it, when sewing it. So this is my princess cut, my front. This is the front, like this. And this is the back, because the back is having zip allowance. So this is the back. So this is the easiest way to cut princess that cut with no breast. I want you to understand this video because my coming up video now is princess cut with breast. Princess that with breast cut. I will make sure I put breast cut to it, but I want you to learn how to cut a normal princess that without breast cut. So thanks for watching my video. Click the notification bell to notify you if I drop a new video. Then press the subscribe button to let you know if I upload any video concerning how to cut and how to sew. If you have any question to ask, put it at the comment section below. If you want me to explain anything concerning half bodies, long gown, 6 pieces, just make sure you put it at the comment section. So my tutorial encourage you to cut at home. Just get a machine so you are free to go cut at home, and make sure you cut it neat when watching this video. Bye.